a South African safari, a group of tourists thought it'd be a good idea to park their car right next to a group of lions trying to relax. Unfortunately, they quickly regret their decision after getting the attention of one of the more curious lions.
I know. You're supposed to lock the door. Oh my gosh, I didn't know they could do that.
This unlucky camper went through a real-life nightmare after he saw two large and hungry lions right outside his tent. The clip starts off intensely as it shows a camper inside his tent, attempting to scare off the two large predators, trying to make him their dinner. The animals keep harassing him by poking the tent with their sharp claws and getting their faces in front of the tent door. Despite it being the only thing keeping the lions from reaching him, the man repeatedly opens the tent door, taunting the predators even more. Thankfully, the lions eventually leave him alone, enabling him to go outside and escape. On a nice evening in Zimbabwe, a group of tourists on a carriage had an encounter with a young male lion that didn't quite go as planned. While peacefully riding through the safari, one of the men spots a lion in the distance that unfortunately appears to be heading towards them.
Oh my gosh. Yep, it's coming faster. Oh my gosh, there's a lion chasing us!
With the lion refusing to give up, the terrified tourists decide to pick up the speed in hopes to lose the animal.
Yes, go, he's slowing down. Oh, I'm so scared.
Eventually, they pick up enough speed where they manage to lose sight of the animal and are able to safely go on with their ride. In a South African reserve, a group of tourists thought it'd be a good idea to observe a huge male lion trying to eat its dinner in peace. After a few minutes, though, the predator notices their presence and begins showing clear signs of discontent. The tourists unfortunately fail to get the message and continue their observation like normal when the unthinkable happens. Thankfully, it stops in its tracks right at the edge of the fence, and everybody is left unharmed. This next video shows a group of hunters recording male lions while hiding behind a bush, trying their best not to be spotted. Moments later, one of the predators notices the men hiding behind the bush, leading to this to happen. They run as fast as they can away from the lions, while shots are being fired in order to try and scare the predators away. Equipped with superb eyesight and smelling capabilities, it's no surprise how the lions quickly detected them. Unfortunately, the clip cuts shortly, and what happened next remains unknown. Near Kruger National Park, these tourists had their seemingly average safari trip take a truly horrifying turn when a white lion suddenly decided to leap into their bus. Now full of panic, the tourists are immediately told to relax and attempt to slowly make their way out of the vehicle.
Do not jump out, climb out. Climb out, climb out. Do not jump out. Relax. Come down. Come down. Relax.
They continue recording as the tour guides attempt to help out the remaining tourists, still unfortunately stuck inside with the lion.
Look at him. Look at him. Can you stand up? Can you stand up? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Then stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Come on. Stand up.
They eventually managed to get everyone out of the bus safely and simply stop recording altogether. While driving through a nature reserve, this family got more than they bargained for when not one, but two lions attacked them. The clip starts out when the person in the passenger seat spots a lion and begins to record it when the unexpected happens. The driver speeds up in an attempt to escape the lion, and thankfully it appears to work. But before the family has time to sigh in relief, they are attacked yet again by not one but two hostile lions. Again, the driver speeds up and luckily manages to escape them successfully. While walking around in Zimbabwe, a group of innocent tourists came across a very territorial female lion who didn't seem so happy about having visitors. After spotting the animal staring at them up ahead, the armed tour guide quickly ordered the group to slowly back up. Unfortunately, the predator only seems to get angrier by the second. Now seriously worried about their safety, the tourists continue to walk backwards.
Uh-oh. Stand or walk?
Suddenly, they stop recording, and what happens next remains unknown. In Kruger National Park, a few tourists in a car felt comfortable enough to drive right next to a huge male lion, trying to mind its own business. The lion gets fed up and decides to let them know. Out of shock, they unfortunately stopped recording and most likely just drove away. A group of tourists got the experience of a lifetime after a hike went wrong in the Pandora Game Lodge in Great Kruger National Park. In the beginning, a group of tourists can be seen following the tracks of a lion in an attempt to get a closer look at the predator. After a while, they eventually find the lion, which proceed to do something horrifying, leaving the group shaking in fear. After threatening the group, the animal then decides to retreat and walk back towards the cover of the bush surrounding them. Fortunately, no one got hurt, throughout this bone-chilling encounter. In South Africa, a couple tourists quickly started recording after spotting a male lion running up the hill towards them. Immediately, one of the tour guides decides to do his job and bravely confronts the predator face to face. Luckily, the male lion decides to spare the man and continues on his original path up the hill. Thankfully, he simply resorts to lying down next to the female lion, and the tourists sadly decide to stop recording. In Wanga National Park, these unsuspecting tourists went out on an average safari walk that quickly turned into a living nightmare. Not expecting much to happen, they start off by simply walking around to explore the safari as originally planned. Eventually though, they notice a rather large male lion up ahead and take a few minutes to observe it while they have the chance. The clip then jumps to a later moment where the now worried tour guide suddenly orders the tourists to start backing away.
Just back up slowly, we're good. I've got it. I'm in between you and him, trust me.
Okay.
Don't worry, slowly, slowly.
Okay.
Let's go back that way.
After a while though, they manage to gain sufficient distance from the predator and eventually make it back to their car safely. Thanks for watching until the end. Check out these other videos you might also like.